I'm not sure if this should be called VKei. So I've been seeing many outfits that look like this on TikTok. You know, the one with that plastic tree song. The posters would often mention VK as their style. And the comment sections seem to agree. But the thing is, whenever I think about VK, all I can think about are those crazy hairs, feminine makeup, the 80s rock inspired outfits, from Guns N' Roses to The Cure to Adam and the Ants. Bands like X Japan, Gothic, Lunacy were some of the pioneers of the VK look. So, how come VK became synonymous with those dark outfits you see on TikTok? It all started in the late 90s, when several VK bands were moving away from their original look, as another wave of bands heavily inspired by the original VK look were starting to emerge, such as Lark Anshil, Kuroyume, CM Shade, Melis Miser, Plastic Tree, and Dear on Grey. Some of the original VK bands would lean into this glam-ish Y2K look, featuring button-ups, satins, leathers, cool shades. X Japan started to abandon their flashy hairs and makeup for a more refined look. Baktik would venture into the world of cyberpunk. Lunacy would dress like the models of Tom Ford's Gucci. The second wave VK bands would also abandon their VK looks, just like the first wave bands. Lark Anshil and CM Shade would follow the footsteps of their predecessors. Plastic Tree would dress more grungy, as did the members of Kuroyume. And members of Dira Grey would appear like Gyaruo, which refers to a rebellious Japanese fashion trend in the 2000s. As for Melis Miser, they didn't really change that much. Then, all these VK bands would change their look again in the 2010s. When the vocalist of Lark Anshil, Hyde, some people call him Hyde, some people call him Haido, but I'm just gonna call him Hyde. Anyway, he's rocking a new look. His new look was flowy, dark, and edgy. I mean, he kinda looked like Jack Sparrow. He was wearing brands like LGB, If 6 was 9, Rowan, which he also modeled for. So basically, Hyde shows a bohemian look mixed with elements of grunge and gothic. If you don't know about bohemian fashion, it's a style inspired by the hippies in the 60s, when the Beatles decide to go on a spiritual journey to India, when blues rockers dominate the stage of music festivals, when the consumption of the devil's lettuce was at an all-time high. If we're looking even further, the style actually originated from the garbs worn by the Romani people, also known as gypsies, who were famous for living a nomadic life, moving from town to town, spreading into multiple regions across Europe. The term Bohemian itself came from the French word Bohemian, which refers to the Romani people. In modern times, Bohemian fashion has been mixed with other cultures, such as Western and Native American. Items from old uniforms also became a part of modern Bohemian fashion, especially this Napoleon jacket, usually worn by officers in the 18th century. You might be familiar with it if you ever consume a media with pirates in it, like the Pirates of Caribbean series or Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Now back to modern Bohemian fashion. It's all about flowy shirts, hats, scarves, boots, stacked jewelry, draping, layering. Some examples of guys who rocked Bohemian style are Johnny Depp. See that pirate and Bohemian connection? And then there's Lenny Kravitz, Jason Momoa. Out of topic a little bit, but I just realized that Jason Momoa used to be in a relationship with Lisa Bonet, who was the ex-wife of Lenny Kravitz. And Lenny used to date Vanessa Paradis, who later would be with Johnny Depp. Do what you want to do with that information. For the girls, there are Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, Kate Moss, Florence Welch, and Alexa Chung. Now back to Hyde. The brands worn by Hyde I've mentioned before offers dark and edgy twist of bohemian items. Flared jeans were ripped out, suits were made asymmetrical, paisleys were replaced with skulls. Some other brands that also offer these dark bohemian items are Yasuki Ishii, 14 Addiction, K. Emery, and GOA. Yasuki Ishii is known for mixing various exotic leathers. Just take a look at this majestic piece of work. I mean, seriously, this just looked like something that Craven the Hunter would wear. Meanwhile, 14th edition is famous for that cross-zip leather jacket. You know that one. Looked super grim, and opening all the zippers would make you look like having a Demogorgon's face on your chest. Camry made a lot of crazy leather bags. A little fun fact about Camry. Despite being a Japanese brand, most of their items were not made in Japan. Instead, they were made in Indonesia, particularly in Bali. And their name is taken from Kemuri. Also, it goes the same for 14th edition. They were made in Bali, Indonesia. As for GOA, the brand offers ethnic influenced items and utilitarian items. Back to my issues with the VK label. I don't think I see any resemblance of this dark bohemian style with the VK. And even the reason VK bands are mostly wearing gothic outfits that lean more towards punk or baroque. So I personally call this style dark bohemian. I can see some people calling it piratecore. I know some people just don't like their style being labeled, but labeling this dark bohemian style as VK just doesn't really sit well with me. Anyway, I absolutely love dark bohemian. Honestly, if I were skinny as I was a few years ago, I would love to rock it. Gotta go on a steady diet of cigarettes and Ozempics before I could fit into those size 29 pants. If you're interested in more brands producing dark bohemian items, I got you covered. There's Backlash by Isamu Katayama, Tornado Mart, Semantic Design, In the Attic, L7, Gostar de Fuga, Buffalo Bobs, Shluzel, Shellac, Silverize, Kyoji Maruyama, Obelisk, Led Rechwe. There's also several brands outside of Japan that I think would fit into the style. Home during Edie Sliman's reign has some gothic and flowy collections, like their Fall 2003 collection, Luster, and their Spring 2004 collection, Strip. Greg Owens has a lot of dark grungy stuff, and so does And the Millimister. Heather Ackerman has some dark bohemian items, such as this leather jacket, these leather pants. There's also John Varvatos, which I think is so underrated, and has this grungy bohemian aesthetic. Their incredible collab with Converse is something that you should definitely look out for. Do also check out Greg Lauren, the nephew of the legendary Ralph Lauren. They have some items that I think would look suitable with the style. So what do you think about the label? Do you agree? Do you have another name for it? Would you rock the style? Anyway, this is my very first YouTube video, and I'm hoping to be able to make more fashion videos in the future. Little background, I started on TikTok, but things didn't really pan out, so I decided to start a channel. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and make sure you also follow my socials. See you all in the next video.